Okay, I'm almost settled. Give me just a second, guys. Okay, Job chapter 5. Iyob chapter 5. Or if you read a different version, it would be Ayub. Okay, here we go. Verse 1. Call out, please. There. Don't do that to me. Oh, it's telling me I'm online. Yeah, duh. Here we go. Call out, please. Is there anyone to answer you? And to which of the set apart ones would you turn? For the wrath kills the fool. Pardon me. For wrath kills the fool, and envy slays the simple. Myself have seen the fool taking root, but suddenly his home was cursed. His sons are far from safety. They are crushed in the gate, with no one to deliver. The hungry eat up his harvest, taking in even from the thorns, and the snares snaps up their wealth. For evil does not come from the dust, nor does trouble spring from the ground. For man is born for trouble, and the sparks fly upward. But as for me, I would seek El, and I would submit my case to Elohim, or Alua. I prefer Alua, right? Verse 9. Who is doing great and unsearchable deeds, innumerable wonders? Who is giving rain on the earth's face, and is sending waters on the field's face, to set the lowly on high, and those who mourn shall be lifted to safety, thwarting the schemes of the crafty, so that their hands do not work effectively, catching the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of schemers are swept away. By day they encounter darkness, and at noon they grope in the night. Pardon me. And at noon they grope as in the night. But he saves the needy from the sword of their mouth. See, their problem is the words in their mouth. Do you hear? He saves the needy from the sword in their mouth, from the clutches of the strong. Thus the poor have expectancy, and unrighteousness shuts her mouth. Look, blessed is the man whom Eloah, which I prefer Alua, right? Eloah does reprove, so do not despise the discipline of the Almighty. For he bruises, but he binds up. He smites, but his hand heals. In 6 distresses he delivers you, and in 7 no evil strikes you. So he's counting the attacks. He says, in 6 distresses he delivers you, and in the 7th no evil strikes you. Just like Jubilee, it comes not only for every 50 years, it comes every 7 days or every 7 paces. Oh my goodness, the 7 is everywhere. The Shabbat, the rest is everywhere. Verse 21. When the tongue scourges, you are shielded. So when somebody scourges you with their tongue, right? You are shielded. And you have no fear when destruction comes. At destruction and at starvation, you laugh. And you have no fear of the beasts of, pardon. You have no fear of the beasts of the earth. Just a second, I gotta get a drink. For you, I bind you, Satan. Whatever imp is trying to bother me. I bind you with the three-strand cord of the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. Yahuwah, arise and cause your enemies to scatter. Thank you, Yahuwah.
Sorry.
I'm doing a Bible reading. You can lay down if you want, but give me a minute, okay? Verse 23. For your covenant is with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with you, and you shall know that your tent is in peace, and shall visit your tent and not sin. Verse 25. And shall know that the seed are many, and your offspring like the grass of the field. You shall come to the bridal site in ripe old age, like the staking of grain in its season. No, like the stacking of grain in its season. Look, this we have searched out. It is so. Hear it and know it for yourself. So when the hayfield comes in, that's the end of that chapter, by the way. When the hayfield comes in, you wait until it's ready, right? He's saying you're going to be ready when I come, right? I'm going to come and get you when you're ready. I'm going to make you ready, and then I'm going to scoop you up, right? Okay, chapter 6. And Iyob, or I prefer Ayub. Here we go. Iyob answered and said, Oh, that my grief were thoroughly weighed, and my calamity be placed on the scales, for it would outweigh the sand of the sea. Therefore my words have been rash, for the arrows of the Almighty are within me. My spirit drinks in it their poison. The onslaughts of Aloha. He says Aloha instead of Aloha. I say Aloha, but Job says Aloha. Eloah instead of the word God. Okay. Aloha are astray against me. So he's saying that the arrows of the Almighty are attacking him. And he is drinking of the poison of well, he doesn't say of anything, okay? He says he's drinking of their poison, right? Okay, verse 5. Does the wild donkey bray when it has grass? Does the ox bellow over its fodder? The answer is no, they don't. They're very quiet when they got what they need. Verse 6. Is tasteless food eaten without salt? Is there any flavor in the juice of marrows? That's it, the bone, the juice of the bone. Verse 7. I refuse to touch it, They are like food when I am sick. Like the best part. You know it? Salt and marrow is some of the best things that you can eat when you're sick. Verse 8. Oh that my oh that I might have my desire, that Eloah, remember Eloah is like Alua when I read usually, that Eloah would grant me what long what I long for. Let me read that again. Verse 8. Oh, that I might have my desire, that Eloah would grant me what I long for, that it would please Eloah to crush me, lose his hand and cut me off. Loose, pardon me, loose, double OSE. Then I would still have comfort. I would rejoice in pain, though not spared, for I have not hidden the word of the set apart one. Wow. He's saying all that sacrificing he did, but he didn't hide the word in his heart. Verse 11. What strength do I have that I should wait? And what is my end that I should prolong my life? The verse 10, it just doesn't make sense because he taught others. He would teach others in righteousness. It don't make no sense. Okay, verse 12. Is my strength the strength of stones? Is my flesh of bronze? Is my help not within me? And is ability driven from me? To him who is afflicted, please, son, please don't make noise. Verse 14 again. To him who is afflicted, loving commitment, even the one leaving the fear of Almighty. Why would you leave the fear of Almighty? Okay, so he's saying that he's afflicted, but he still has, that God is still committed to him. Loving commitment, that's Hesed, okay? Loving commitment. He has Hesed still. Even the one leaving the fear of Almighty. Even someone who's going away from God, right? Verse 15. My brothers are as undependable as the wadi, as a bed on which streams once ran. So we would say that differently. We would say there's a wash, right? The wash usually doesn't have water in it unless it's the rainy season, right? Verse 16. Which are dark because of the ice, in which the snow is hidden. When it is warm, they cease to flow. When it is hot, they vanish from their place. Verse 18. The path of their way turn aside, and they enter wastes and perish. Now that's talking about the waterways, right? But he's also comparing, right? Verse 19. Passengers of Tema looked expectantly. Travelers of Sheba waited for them. They were ashamed because they had trusted. They came there and were disappointed. So they went there to get a drink of water and found none, right? Verse 21. Indeed, you have now become the same. You see my downfall and are afraid. Did I ever say, give to me, or offer a bribe for me with my wealth, from your wealth? Oh. See, I'm going to read that again with just the last ones because it didn't make sense. Did I ever say, offer a bribe for me from your wealth? Okay. And then verse 23. Or rescue me from the hand of the enemy, or redeem me from the hand of oppressors. He's just telling his friend, look, I didn't ask you to come, right? Verse 24. Teach me, and I shall be silent, and show me where I have gone astray. Words of uprightness are harsh, but what does your reproving reprove? Do you reckon to reprove my words and the sayings of one in despair, which are as wind? Verse 27. You would cast lots over the fatherless and make merchandise, and make merchandise of your friend. But now, please look at me, whether I would lie to your face. Relent, please. Let there be no unrighteousness. Relent. My righteousness is still in it. Is there unrighteousness on my tongue? Does my taste not discern what is perverse? Chapter 7 of Job, or Iyob, right? Does not man have to struggle on earth? For his days are like the days of a hired man, like a servant who sighs for the shade, and like a hireling longing for his wages. So am I allotted months of futility, and nights of trouble have been appointed to me. When I lie down, I say, where am I going to rise? Pardon me. When am I going to rise? And the night be ended. He wants, when he gets in bed, he's miserable, right? He can't wait to get up. For I have my fill of tossing till dawn. Verse 5. My body is covered with worms and dirt. My skin is cracked and it festers. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle and are spent without expectancy. Remember that my life is a breath. My eye is never again to see good. The eye of him who sees me no longer. Your eyes are upon me, and I am no more. The cloud fades and vanishes away. So he who goes down to Shelah, that's hell, does not come up. He returns no more to his house. That means he doesn't enter back into his body, right? Nor does his place know him anymore. I do not hold my mouth. I speak in the distress of my spirit. I complain in the bitterness of my being. Am I the sea, or a sea monster, that you should set a guard over me? When I say, my bed does comfort me, my couch does ease my complaint, then you frighten me with dreams and make me afraid with visions, so that my being chooses Strangling. So my being chooses strangling. Death rather than my bones. I have wasted away. I would not live forever. Leave me alone, for my days are a breath. What is man that you should make him great? That you should set your heart on him? That you should visit him every morning, trying him every moment? Now, this is him talking about to God. He's saying, what am I for you to visit me every morning? Because Yahuwah, Elohim, El Shaddai, he visits man every morning with his hesed, right? And he tries him, right? He checks his heart and his liver and his kidneys. He's checking them, right? Verse 19. How long do you look away from me, nor leave me alone till I swallow my saliva? Have I sinned? What have I done to you, O watcher of men? Why have you set me as your target, so that I am a burden to you? Verse 21. And why do you pardon my transgressions? Pardon me, I read that wrong. And why do you not pardon my transgressions and turn away my crookedness? For now I lie down in the dust, and you shall seek me, but I am not. He's telling God, if you don't do something quick, I'm going to die. Verse 8. And Bildad the Shuhite, but this H is a special large one which makes the K sound, Shuhite, answered and said, how long are you going to speak like this? Since the words of your mouth are strong, are a strong wind. Does El twist right ruling? Or does the Almighty twist what is right? If your sons have sinned against him, and he delivers them into the hand of their transgression, if you diligently seek El and plead with the Almighty, if you were clear and straight, then indeed he would awake for you and shall bless your righteous dwelling place. Though your beginning was small, yet your latter end would greatly increase. Indeed, please ask the former generation and prepare for the research of their fathers. This guy doesn't get it. Job didn't do anything wrong. Verse 9. For we are but of yesterday, and now not, because our days on earth are as a shadow. Do they not teach you, speak to you, and bring forth words from their heart? Verse 11. Does papyrus grow without a marsh? A reed thriving without water? The answer is no. Verse 12. While it is yet green, not cut down, it dries out before any plant. It means it's a fasted, drying plant, right? Verse 13. So are the paths of all who forget El, and expectancy of a defiled one does perish, whose refuge is cut off, and whose trust is a spider's web. See, this guy's no help at all. At least Job said, even those that are going into Sheol, into hell, are comforted by Yahuwah, right? Because of his hesed every morning. Okay, verse 15. He leads on, he leans on his house. That means on his flesh. He leans on his flesh. But it does not stand. He holds it fast, but it does not last. He is moist before the sun. He's sweaty, right? And his branches spread out in his garden. His roots wrap around a heap and look for a place in the stones. If he is destroyed from his place, then it shall deny him. I have not seen you. So that's a quote that the earth is saying, I don't see you. Verse 19. See, this is the joy of his way, and out of the dust others grow. Now this HIS is capitalized in verse 19. I'll read it again. See, this is the joy of his way, and out of the dust others grow. See, El does not cast away the perfect, nor holds the hand of the evildoers. Verse 21. While he fills your mouth with laughter and your lips with rejoicing, those hating you put on shame, and the tent of the wrong is no more. Chapter 9. And Iyob answered and said, truly, I know it is so, but how is man right with Elohim? Or, God. I prefer Eluah, because there's only one God. Elohim kind of means more than one, right? It's plural. Verse 3. If one wishes to dispute with him, he would not answer him one time out of 1,000. In other words, he's saying, here I am trying to dispute with God, and God's not going to answer me. He's not going to answer one time out of 1,000. Verse 4. Wise is the heart, and potent of power. Who has hardened himself against him? Himself being a man, against him being God, right? And is at peace. How can you be mad at God and be at peace? Verse 5. He who removes mountains, and they do not know it, when he overturns them in his displeasure, who stakes the earth out of its place. Pardon me, I said that wrong. Who shakes the earth out of its place, and its columns tremble. That's what's happening right now, by the way. All these earthquakes are shaking the earth out of its place. And its columns tremble. Verse 7. Who commands the sun and does not rise? Pardon me. Who commands the sun and it does not rise? Well, Yahuwah. When he comes back, the sun is not going to show its face for respect of the true light, Yahuwah, right? He seals up the stars. So it means he stops those stars from shining too. Let me read that again. Verse 7. Who commands the sun and it does not rise? And he seals up the stars, stretching out the heavens by himself, and treading upon the waves of the sea. Who made Ash, Kezel, and Kemal, and the rooms of the south? Like the South Pole, right? Who performs great and unsearchable deeds and innumerable wonders? Look, he goes by me, and I do not see. He moves past, but I do not discern him. He's saying God's with me, and I just don't see him, right? He's moving with me, and I just don't discern him, right? Verse, verse 12. Look, he snatches away who brings it back. In other words, if he takes it away out of the earth, who's going to bring it back, right? I'll say it again. Look, he snatches away who brings it back. Who says to him, what are you doing? Verse 13. Eloah does not turn back his displeasure. The helpers of pride stoop under him. How much less would I answer him? Choose my words with him. Verse 15. For though I were righteous, I would not answer him. I pray to him for my right ruling. Though I had called and he answered me, I would not believe that he was listening to my voice. I'm sorry. I mean, that's how we feel sometimes when our answer doesn't come, right? He knows he's listening to him, but he says, if he did it, when I call out to him, I wouldn't know if he's listening to me or not. Hi guys, I see that Alika has said Raquel. It doesn't have the L on it, so it's just Ruck. Has said hi two times, and Simony has said hi also. I thought y'all was going to say something about my laughter. Verse 17. For he crushes me with the storm, and has multiplied my wounds for no cause. Y'all remember this. It is for no cause except to test you, to see if you truly love him. Okay? It's coming. And Job's trouble is coming to the earth. The trying, the proving. And you have to keep your faith in Yahuwah, in God. Okay, verse 18. He does not allow me to recover my breath, but fills me with bitterness. If I speak of power, pardon me, it's a question. If I speak of power, look, he is potent. And if of right rulings, who sets me a time? He's begging him for a time to speak to Yahuwah. And at the end of this chapter, he does get it, right? Verse 20. If I am righteous, my mouth would declare me wrong. Am I perfect? I would declare me perverse. He says if I was perfect, I would, say I was perverse, right? Just like y'all are saying about me, right? Verse 21. Am I perfect? Do I not know my own being? I despise my life. Verse 22. It is all the same, therefore, I say, he destroys the perfect and the wrong. Man. He's saying that he destroys the perfect and the wrong. He destroys everyone. Right? That's how he feels. And that's how you're gonna feel. You're gonna feel like, man, he said he was gonna come back before this happened. Before the scourging, right? The scourging. Verse 23. If the scourge slays suddenly. If the scourge slays suddenly, he laughs at the trial of the innocent. He doesn't. He doesn't laugh at your trials. Verse 14. Earth has been given into the hand of the wrong. Okay, now here is he telling the truth. It's not God that's doing this. He's given Satan permission, but it's Satan, not God, right? The earth has been given into the hand of the wrong. He covers the faces of its judges. If it is not he, then who is it? My God. It reminds me of a court case I had. And yes, it seemed that God himself had covered the faces of the judges. It seemed that way. Then when you get about, 10, 20 years down the road, you go, you know what, maybe that wasn't a bad idea. I think that was probably the best choice. I didn't deserve what I was asking for. Okay, verse 25. My days have become swifter than a runner. They have fled, and they have not seen good. They have passed by like a swift ship, like swift ships, like an eagle swooping on its prey. If I say, let me forget my complaint, let me put off my sad face, and let me smile, I shall be afraid of all my sufferings. I know that you do not hold me innocent. Verse 29. If I am wrong, why should I labor in vain? If I washed myself with snow water and cleansed my hands with soap, then you would plunge me into a ditch, and my garments shall abhor me. For he is not a man, as I am, that I answer him. And we come together into right ruling. You see, and God's not a man, as he is, right? That I answer him, because he's talking to God, right? He's saying God doesn't have to just obey me and answer me, right? He respects the fact that God's a God and not a man, right? Verse 33. We're on verse 33. We just got three verses left. There is no mediator between us to lay his hand upon us both. Let him take his rod away from me, and let not his dread frighten me. Then I would speak and not fear him, for I am not so within myself. He's saying, usually I'm not afraid to speak to Yahuwah, but today I am under his rod. I am under his ruling. I am under his word, right? And I'm a little afraid to even say anything. But when the rod's not over him, he's not afraid, is what he's saying. Now, why won't this let me go on to the next one? There it goes. Okay, that completes the reading of today. I meant to do it this morning, but I had to rush out and do some things that Yahuwah wanted me to do at the morning. So I'm not sure if I'll get to the reading of this Job tomorrow or not, but I'll try. Bye. Have a good night.